What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I gotta say, I don't know which way to take this. Now, I know to some people this is going to be a nitpick. This is going to be just an insignificant thing, but it is anything but that, in my opinion. First of all, this to me shows, number one, all EA cares about is the dollar, right? All they care about is selling you these 50th year packs, these top 50 player packs, and getting the cards in the hands of children. Because most children buying the packs today never saw Jonathan Ogden play. They probably don't care to either. Okay, so is it the fact that EA just wants to make money, or did they simply say, hey, we need some depth with these 50 players and we're going to have to move some things around? But the problem is, Jonathan Ogden didn't play right tackle. And, you know, I'm not a former practice lineman like Clint Oldenburg, but I would think that he would want every position on the line respected in Ultimate Team. Now, many of you know I'm from Maryland. I got to see some of the greatest players in NFL history by going to Ravens games. And I'll put Jonathan Ogden right up there with the names like Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Deion Sanders. Might not have the flashy positions, but he was a dominant lineman. Equally as versed in pass protection and run blocking. This is from his NFL Hall of Fame induction. It states clearly, by 2000, the Ravens had climbed to the top of the NFL with Ogden anchoring the offensive line from his left tackle spot. Yet here we are, 20 years later, and EA wants to sell you a card where Jonathan Ogden is a right tackle. The Colts had a great lineman at the time as well, Tarek Glenn. But you know what separated Tarek Glenn and Jonathan Ogden was a far superior run blocker. And that's shown here when it talks about him leading the way for Jamal Lewis to have one of the best rushing seasons in NFL history. Now, when people want to say this is nitpicking, oh, this is just a player's position that's wrong, this is the history of the game they're trying to sell you guys. Right? This is Nolan Ryan playing outfield. This is Jeff Gordon in car number 25. I don't know why people don't say more about these things. If you love football, if you respect the game, if you care about the history of the sport, then yes, things like this matter. And if it's simply the fact that a company wants to sell something so bad that they don't care about the authenticity of what they're giving the user, or they want to make sure that they have enough equality in positions to sell to someone that they decide, well, we're going to have to move some players around. Hopefully no one notices. Because we've already got two left tackles. We really don't have a right tackle, so I guess we'll slide Jonathan Ogden out there. The fact that Clint Oldenburg as a lineman works on this game and allows things like this to happen, to me, this just shows the lack of love, the lack of passion that they have for this sport. A lot of people say to me, you know, do these guys even watch football? And I'm not going to take that step and say that they don't. I know that they do. They have to at least have some type of passion for football to be working on this game. But it's things like this that people look at and wonder, how much do they really care? How much do they really watch? Because any football fan from the early 2000s or late 90s is going to know Jonathan Ogden did not play right tackle. Anybody that went to Canton to see his Hall of Fame enshrinement or bust knows he didn't play right tackle. And here you've got EA selling a card to kids 20 years later that doesn't even have the position right. If this was an Ed Reed defensive back card, I promise you there would be an uproar. As long as it's not that stupid out of position card that they pull. This is literally the best they've got. This is the best they have. You can't get things like this right, you're never going to get the bigger things right. It's just common sense. It's an extra 30 seconds of caring about what you're doing before you put it into a pack, because you have to know at this point, there's someone like me waiting on the other side of just about everything you do to call out every mistake that you make. but you don't care. You don't want to stop me from making content. I said this yesterday. Every day, they should wake up and ask themselves how they can shut me up today. How can they prevent me from making a video today? And they've yet to figure it out in over 10 years. That takes a commitment to making a poor product, much more than a commitment to making a good one. You have to try to get these things wrong. And yes, it matters. To far more many people than will watch this video, it matters. Because at the end of the day, so many of us know this is just a reflection of the bigger picture. This is why so many things in this game are broken. Because the attention to detail is never there with this company. But the desire for them to sell you something is. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I will be back in a week with more commentary.